Understanding Information Democracy, Equality and Justice. In this video, we will reflect upon understanding information democracy, equality and justice. We will hear from Dr. Liam Berriman from the University of Sussex research team, who provides an overview of the key issues that affect how children's information is used and what that might mean for how information systems are designed. Some of the key talking points include: how can we proactively design information systems in ways that integrate voice within them? The ways in which systems may not be experienced equitably, and the effect that measurement can have on information.
So what you can see here on the slide are the kind of numbered different sets of issues, and what we've got in the purple text underneath is where it illustrates where voice might sort of fit within these issues, and of how we might think about this kind of integration that Perpetua was talking about when talking about different issues. So rather than having voice as separate, thinking about it as an integrated part. So here we've got issues of thinking about how information systems are designed, and of thinking about what it means to have diverse voices present when we're interrogating those information systems. So thinking about who's actually at the table when talking about and designing these information systems. It's about recognizing about what goes into them. So the information that goes into those systems potentially not being neutral, but informed by choices about what information to include, and how we make decisions about what information is important. So recognizing how that is also a decision about whose voices are included and who might be excluded when deciding what kinds of information we include. Thinking about measurement as a particular type of tool that we use within information systems, and that those measurements are often used to make particular kinds of judgments and decisions. So choosing who decides what those measures are, thinking about what it would mean to think about measurements that would be meaningful for a variety of stakeholders, and to think about who's actually selecting and deciding what measures are the most meaningful ones. You'll likely have heard a great deal of about sort of algorithmic bias over recent years, thinking about what it means to talk about the changes in way that information is handled, and the increasing role of AI in kind of shaping decisions within information systems, and that has really kind of prompted a lot of discussion about what it means to monitor how those new information tools are used, thinking about the potential for having checks and balances, which include a variety of stakeholders to think about actually how these tools are being used, and the potential for them to potentially reproduce certain inequalities, and so ensuring that the right people are at the table for having discussions about that. Thinking about who's at the centre of an information system. Obviously, when we're thinking about children's social care, obviously the human very much at the centre of an information system, and again, really important to think about so talking about what Elaine said earlier about the importance of having voices about information, what are the discussions that we're having about how people are placed within information systems? How do we talk with them about what information about them is being used? And so having those very kind of honest and frank discussions about information being a potentially useful element for thinking about the design of information systems. So recognizing that the benefits of information systems might not always be equally experienced by all. So again, the need to bring together different voices for thinking about how information is used, thinking about both your own voices as people who are likely to interact with these systems, and what you feel works and doesn't work, and also the people who are at the end of those information systems, the people who are receiving services based on the types of information systems we're using. So what are the types of discussions we're having with a variety of stakeholders around this, and about the assumed benefits of what those information systems might provide. And then the last part, which I'm sure links for many of you in terms of your practice, ideas of relational practice, and the idea of where do information systems fit within relational practice? What is it that we want to use them for, and to ensure that they don't replace? In what ways are information systems a potentially an integrated part of relationships between people within children's services? And so thinking about how we use those information systems not to necessarily take away or subtract the human part of those information systems, but actually have them as an integrated part, and thinking about their actual positioning within those relational practices.
Here are some reflective questions for you to consider. Consider examples from your own organisation and practice. How would you know that your systems are designed to place information and voice at the heart of your work? What steps could you take to ensure that your information systems are experienced equitably?